Hey guys, what's going on today? I kind of want to talk to you guys about what to look for when buying a 335i. So definitely, probably one of the first things you want to look for is just making sure that everything kind of feels right, you know? You can really tell a lot about a car by kind of just looking at it and seeing how well the exterior's been taken care of. Sitting inside, if the seats are all like abused, if the steering wheel has like all the plastic stuff rubbed off, if the shifter is all like worn out and stuff, and you can really tell kind of how the person took care of the car by the way the interior looks and the way the exterior looks, and that really tells you a good bit. Generally, if the car's been taken well care of on the exterior and on the interior, there's a good chance that things have been taken care of under the hood as well. So it's definitely a good thing to keep an eye out for that. When you get in there, check the AC, make sure it blows cold, make sure it blows hot. All those things. Make sure the radio works. Make sure the radio, like the volume buttons on not only the knob but on the steering wheel work. Just make sure it feels good. Definitely make sure you bring a flashlight with you when you go and look at your car. There's some places that you should look for oil. Definitely right under the oil filter housing. It's a really common area for it to leak, and it can be a nightmare, especially if it ends up getting on your drive belt. It can shred and go into your engine and blow up your N54. So you really want to avoid that. Definitely check behind. In the back corner, you can kind of see if oil is dripping down, and it'll tell you if your valve cover is leaking. I'll put a picture up on the screen. But definitely check back there. You need a flashlight to look there and see if there's oil leaking back there, and it can give you a good idea. You can DIY a valve cover gasket. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely money that you that you don't want to spend, that you can use, that you probably want to use for other stuff. So if you can use it to leverage your price on the car, if it ends up having one leaking, and you can use that to get the price down quite a bit, by any means go do it. Go DIY it, buy the tools. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It's like a 2-hour job in your garage. It's not hard. Same thing with the oil filter housing gasket, but definitely see if those things are leaking, because you want to address those as soon as possible. Another thing you want to do is you want to check if your oil pan gasket's leaking. This one's a little harder to check because it's kind of requires the car to be on the lift. You can kind of see on the ground if there's little oil spots on the ground or whatever, but it is a hard one to check. In the end, I haven't run into a BMW that doesn't have a leaking oil pan gasket, especially these. So mine leaks. All my friends have them leaking, so I wouldn't take that one too seriously. It's at the bottom of the car anyway. Your skid plate's gonna be oily, but is what it is. Most of the time it doesn't leak that much, but and it's a pain in the butt. You gotta drop the subframe and stuff. So I would only do it if you're doing turbos, which is probably when I'm gonna do mine. And that actually leads into my next part, is turbos. Now, one thing that's very important, you want to make sure that the car is cold when you get there. You want to cold start the car because you will hear wastegate rattle when you cold start the car, and you can kind of judge how bad the turbos are or how good they are. And you want to let it warm up, obviously. Check for misfires. If you start it up and it has some blips in the cold start, it's definitely misfiring. It could be plugs, coils, could be an injector. Most of the time it's just plugs and coils because these cars eat through those. Injectors, it could be, but most of the time it's not terribly likely. Most of the time it is coils and plugs. I mean, once you're tuned, you should be doing them every 10K, 10 to 15K, but I think it might be 30K on the regular ones. So I don't know, I got my car with around 79, 80K-ish, like way early 80,000 miles. And it did end up, well, I tuned it like a month after I got it, but it did end up needing to have the coils replaced because I only did spark plugs and it ended up cooking my DME, which is only a problem on the early model cars like 2007s and early 2008s, so don't worry about that if you have a later 2008 build or anything later. But definitely if you end up getting if you end up getting an early 2007, just first thing you do, just change the DME and fix that. There's plenty of people that do it. I'll put some links in the description of people that'll do a DME for you. It saves so much headache, and just get it over with. But another thing is, you want to get in the car and you want to floor it, and you want to make sure it holds boost, and you want to make sure it doesn't misfire when you floor it, because those can be a headache to fix. Even though it might be coils and plugs, you generally just don't want to have a broken car to start off with. But definitely just floor it, make sure it works, drive it around, make sure there's no weird sounds, just do the average things that you would do when you're looking for a car. But to be honest, other than that, other than those things, there's really nothing else to look out for. I mean, these cars are great, and these cars will take care of you if you take care of them. That's, how it goes. These cars are finicky. In the end, it is a computer on wheels, and it will go into limp mode if you breathe on it or if you offend it. But you can definitely, there's a lot for you to do on this platform. I guess the biggest recommendation I would have is don't immediately mod it. Fix things that are broken and then modify that. Because I've learned some things the hard way, other things I've just fixed before, but I didn't know everything, of course. And you can't know everything, but you want to minimize things breaking after you tune them. So just get them done first, and then you won't have to deal with them. But in the end, it is an N54, it is finicky, it's fun as heck, and definitely buy it if you like working on cars. So other than that, I have nothing else to say, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe, get me to 100 subscribers, that'd be great, and peace out.